She might get what?
I might get a girlfriend before Christmas though.
You might get a girlfriend for Christmas?
I might get a girlfriend before Christmas like happens or some shit. Limit suspicion.
Gee, let's hope not. I mean, like,
I don't
what are
want.
we
Yeah,
in?
I kind of want to save it till next year. Like as much I do want like a girl or some shit, but I think I'd rather save that shit for next year. They're gonna be looking for those Christmas gifts and shit. Santa's out of business.
Yeah, that's why during any major holidays you gotta break up with your girl, then get back after. Like, it's all coincidence, but Kayla and I broke up like a few days before Valentine's Day. That's a lie. Like weeks before Valentine's Day. That's better. No, but how I know I'm just jaded in the best way possible. It's not like I'm depressed or anything. Like the medication, I'm fine now. I feel great. I just don't care as much as I used to. Like, and and how I know that's the case is because I'm talking to Genesis, and before I devoted my life to that short bitch. But like now I can't. I don't care. Like I don't give a shit. Like there's times where like we don't talk for hours on end. I don't give a fuck. Where like she's telling me like she finds this guy cute. I don't give a shit. And then I'm just like, yo, what if Genesis decides not to talk to me anymore? And what I said in my head was, who gives a shit? And that's how I knew. You're doing good, Justin.
That's how you know you're about to get married soon too. Because you're gonna get in that stage where you just don't give a fuck about like much. You just want to like see the girl shut up or some shit. So you're about to start getting to your husband phase, where you understand it, but you just like fuck that. I don't even have the time to like hear that shit. So just make the bitch shut up and I just want to be by myself, go fishing, go do some shit. Because I just don't care anymore either. Like
Just go to the studio with the bros.
Go to the studio. Yo, there's this girl had came back too and started talking to me. Some Indian girl that I used to talk to a while ago. And yeah, I don't know why. Like she came back and started talking to me and shit. Cause we had got into an argument. We blocked each other. But I felt bad, so I unblocked her or whatever. I just left it like that. I didn't hit her up or anything, but she came back and hit me up. And she's playing like very mysterious all of a sudden now. Like she doesn't want to like. She's like talking like in riddles, like mad mysterious and shit. Sometimes.
Yeah, she pulling the Riddler. Riddle me this, Batman.
But she's still cool. She's cool and shit. I'm just saying like she just come out of nowhere sometimes with, like, you know, this type of vibe, like this Riddler vibe. And I was like, what are you depressed about? What are you sad about? What do you want out of life? Like, you know, you don't want to see me. You don't want to talk to me, or do you like? What do you want? Why are you talking to me? I just want to know what's the interest in having to tell me anything anymore. If you're not going to do anything with me.
You not seeing her? The question we have to ask ourselves is, can she see you clearly? No, I don't think she can see me clearly. Ha 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 ha. Young Torch. Come get a little entree off this menu real quick.
Yo, I was thinking about that shit today too. Come get a little bit of
I always think about that. I always think about that. Like, damn, one of my boys got a P5. I'm thinking of like selling my Switch in a few games and then just paying off the difference. Cause Cause like I don't see the need for this. I paid I think like three for the Switch, so chances are they're probably just gonna give me like one something for it.
I'm thinking about just buying the digital version too. And just fucking off with the
Oh,
CD.
everyone's buying the digital version. Like
No,
the
what I
fucking
told you what happened?
CDs. What?
With the CDs, right? Hold on, fuck. With the CDs, you have to like keep the CDs in order to play like Mortal Kombat. Like, let's say if I want to play Tekken or Mortal Kombat, I think you need the CDs to like play it or whatever. I think those are a couple of games that carry over to the new system.
Yeah.
I think any game of this year that came out, I think they carry over to the new system. So I don't know. They're doing some weird shit with PS5 where you can carry the games over, but sometimes even though you have the CD, they put a lock over it. So like, let's say you have a good like a game library, right? With like a whole bunch of games from like last year and shit, excluding like Destiny. They'll have a lock over it, and the lock will only be unlocked unless you play for like the PlayStation Now shit.
That's retarded.
That's like, yo, I bought a $60 game, right? $65 game, some shit, and I gotta keep paying $9 over to play that shit a month. So basically, I'm paying like $1,000 a game a piece to play, to keep alive. Like, what the fuck? Something around that realm of money that I'm paying, like to just keep a game alive, right? Let's say if I really liked, let's say if I really liked that Mortal Kombat game to the point where I'm just playing that shit for like the next 2 or 3 years. Because remember, Mortal Kombat 10 didn't come out till like, I mean, this Mortal Kombat didn't come out till like this year. Like the last Mortal Kombat that they had was for the last gen. Before that, right? Like Mortal Kombat 10 was from the 360, right? And they carried over to like 360 PS3, and they carried over to like the PS4, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Let me see, because I think it was PS4. Let me try.
I think, yeah, I'm not sure.
Or I think it was MK9 that was PS3.
Oh, MK9. I think it was MK9.
Mortal Kombat X was, it came out in 2015. So yeah, this was PS4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, MK9 with Freddy Krueger and shit. Yeah, that was PS3.
So they have to carry over MK11 without the lock on it. So let's say if I still have the CD, they can't put a lock on my game. That's what I'm looking for. Like all my new games that I got this year, just unlock those at least. Like you could lock all the old. Like you could lock Uncharted, of course. You know. Which is kind of fucked up. Which is kind of fucked up because I have Uncharted 4 and I haven't played that shit yet. So I was kind of like,
You got it when that shit was free?
Uncharted 4?
Yeah.
Nah, my brother had it. He had bought it like when the PS4 came out, or whatever. I never got a chance to play it, but I just have it though. Even Watch Dogs 2, I didn't play that shit yet, and I have it upstairs.
Yeah, I played it too. It's good if you're not expecting it to be like the first one, because the first one was really good.
But I just expect it to be like in LA, I guess. Well, you know, that's the only difference I expect. I don't think they did change a lot out of that.
They changed that much. It's pretty much a hipster's watchdog. Like all the people there are like hipsters, and like you're in a group with a bunch not with a bunch of people, with like four other people, and they're like hipsters, and it's because the main character is like our age or younger, I think.
Somebody's gonna comment fucking Rona.
One was good for the simple fact that it was this adult that his wife and kid died, and he just wants revenge on the people who did it.
Yeah. But this one is gonna be more like pop light.
Oh, Legion, everyone is on it. Like even old people, they hack shit too, I believe.
No, I mean like the second one was like more like kid popish, like, right? Like it didn't have like no
Yeah, it's like
backstory. It's
how
mostly like, oh, I'm hacking, dude.
yeah, they just do it to do it. They just hack shit because they want to and
That's
because they
not.
could.
It's kind of lame.
And they just decide to take down like this corrupt guy or whatever, but still, it's the first Watchdog was really good to the point where he found the guy that would like orchestrated all of it, who ordered the hit in a sense, and he was an old guy with a pacemaker. So the main character hacked the pacemaker to the point where like he couldn't fucking like breathe and shit.
I remember that part.
Nothing as hardcore as that was in the second one. Brother.
I'm sorry for the constant spinning, but yeah, I definitely agree. Like the first one was really good. I had the first one and I used to play that shit all the time. Even when I beat the shit, I still played it. But the second one looks,
Yeah.
it looks alright. But my brother was like, I'm not playing this shit anymore. He has Legion now. He's like, why didn't you wait for the PS5 to come out? Like, fuck that shit. I was gonna get Legion. But
No, they the thing with the P5 is they said if you have Devil May Cry 5 for the PS4, it'll carry over and you get everything that the ultimate Devil May Cry 5 has. So the fifth one for the PS5, it has Virgil, it has a whole bunch of modes you can play, it has a whole bunch of shit. And the regular one, it doesn't have that. So if you have it for the PS4 and you play it on the PS5 and the system sees that you have save data on it, they'll give you everything, so you don't have to buy the disc again. So I think it's gonna be like that with Mortal Kombat. It should, at least.
yeah, it should be, because at least all these DLCs coming out for that game, it'll be messed up if they made you buy that shit over again. Fuck that.
I just want to play with Rambo. I gotta get that shit back from Kayla. Cause Kayla really like wanted to play Mortal Kombat and shit, and I had it and I hardly played it, so I was just like, here, just like take it or whatever. But now I'm realizing I'm like I kind of want to play with like Rambo or Jackie or fucking Kano and shit. So take that back.
She's gonna be like, you Indian giver.
And you're like, maybe, but oh well. Thank you. And like the girl I told you about yesterday is like, it's in like North Carolina or some shit. I don't give a shit. If she was to message me tomorrow and be like, yo, I don't like you like that, I would be like, okay. This is where I'm at. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck.
It's Rona time. We're just trying to survive on this earth. They're
It's
thinking
hammer time,
they're that
baby.
special. Word, it's hammer time, baby.
This gets. We gotta open the stream with Warak and end it with Hassan Campbell.
Always. Hold up. Damn, dude. Illuminati's trying to take me out. I don't know. Trying to flood me with the fucking.
CGD City Productions.
Flood me with the mucus, man.
Always on a bad shit, packing on a bad slicks, money on that bad shit, hungry on my bad shit, break a loud pound down, sounding like a frat shit, out here with my crew, yeah, you know we never go. You never heard of wall back, even hit the news, but it wasn't no forecast, out here making moves.
Now I know how you felt like a couple of weeks ago.
Yep. Yep, I fucking... It makes you like really like tell you. It reminds you like how much you took not being sick for granted.
Yo, I was picking up mad trash last week and I was like, dude, I'm not getting sick for nothing. This shit is a farcity. This virus is a farcity. And now I'm fucking suffering. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Another little Jim
Like
Beam.
your fucking throat hurts. Whenever you cough, your shit hurts. Like
Word.
the fucking mucus all the time. You have to sneeze every 2 minutes.
You think this is the COVID for real? Like I didn't get tested for that shit, but like, you think this might be it?
Nah. Because I mean, no, it's not COVID. Because you didn't have any symptoms.
Yeah, I can still taste it and I can still smell, but it's just like flooded of mucus and shit.
Yeah, like it's the weather's changing. It's people. A lot of people get cold and when the weather first starts to change. So.
Chasing all the whipping rats about him, I ain't talking about cheeks. Serving all these fiends, yeah, they put us on our feet. Got it from the streets, hey yo, GP. Coming from the rap, that's facts, you know. Whipping rats and mouse
They really remind me of our future, yo, in a way.
Justice and peace. You can get your jaw cracked, better talk your weave. We crack skull caps and bust your teeth. We coming from the rap like we the Middle East. Need missiles, pass the blast, enemy teams and push your shit back. Give your ass a way to speak. Been through the war and left them with torment. Sworn by my sworn till the blood pouring. Yeah, I'm about a war, bitch. I got some white brothers, the rest are more rich. When we with each other, haters get so pissed. Intercourse with the gang, but I ain't a husband. Should be scrubbing my dick. Fuck it. Yeah, we gang, but I know she loves it. Keep it on lockdown like Benghazi. Ain't no one hit. Can't stop me with the rack heads, yeah, it's an army. Popping out something like paparazzi. Shooting like a camera, got you running from the hammer. It's rappers up, you could call me Jeffrey Dahmer. You could get nailed with the chopper. Generals of the rack.
Yo, they deadass remind me of like when they first came out. A little bit. Not too intense like Odd Future, like, you know, how they were really good. Obviously.
Oh yeah, of course. Like a toned down version.
Yeah.
Because our future was wilding with the whole, we were wilding too. Like we were repeating it, so.
But we were like stupid. We were kids though. You were legit teenagers, yo. Like fuck.
We're the same age as us.
We're impressionable teenagers. We didn't know nothing about that rape culture and all that shit. I mean, now we know. Now we know.
Yeah, like guys and girls were singing that shit.
But damn, dude, that shit was crazy. We used to really We used to really be on some odd future shit.
You can get hit with the chopper.
Get it done.
Like, I used to fuck with the music and stuff, but you, like, all I wore to look, that one would be like, oh, he's a hipster, are skinny jeans. You took it and ran. Like,
No, cause I was a skater. You remember, I was a skater back then, so like, I dressed like them because we came from the same cut of the cloth, as they say. Cut the cloth. What did they say? The cut of the cloth. The cloth of the cut.
cut from the
Same cloth.
You were close.
Yeah.
You were right.
But yeah, I see what you mean though. Like they brought out a lot of new clothes. I was like, holy fuck, baby, I gotta wear this shit. I used to wear like fucking the hat like tucked up, like a duck bill, like the duck bill style. That's what I started doing. That shit is whack as fuck.
You did like the Undertaker clothes and stuff. The eye
Yeah,
shirts.
man.
And I'm
Edgy.
like, yeah, we edge lords. But you put a gun to your head before all this even started. So if anything, you created like Edge, the Edge Society.
I created Edge. I created WWE Edge.
You created Adam Copeland.
It's my son. Don't you ever talk about me and my son again.
Whoa.
Yo, I remember that time I did that shit. It was a BB gun. But everybody in school was freaking out. In my church, so I got in trouble for that shit. Huh?
Who said pull the trigger? I know
What?
someone did, right?
Yeah, one of the niggas I used to chill with.
With the chop.
I don't blame him though. Pull the trigger, man.
Fuck it, pull it.
I don't blame him. He wanted to see something spicy. Shit, I denied him of it. You know, it is what it is.
Because
Everybody thought I was gonna get very deep and shit. Look into the camera and be like, well, fuck that nigga. I was about to kill myself, but nah. The nigga wanted to see something spicy. I denied him of it. Shit was tight. He was tight. Would have been tight too. I think it was one of the higher classmen or some shit. I can remember. Yeah, but people at church were like, yo, you good? They told my mom. My mom was like, you pointing guns, you pointing your BB gun to your head and making it look real.
I did.
And I'd be like, dude, it's obviously like a BB gun. Everybody knows it's a BB gun. They have weapon specialists for this shit. You know how you know it's a BB gun? It has a little knobble thing at the end of the clip, which is like plastic and circular. No real guns have those, you know. A gun specialist could see that shit and be like, well, that's not a real gun. That's why the police never did anything. They never called me. They never like investigated that shit. Because I think they used to do that. People like floss guns on Facebook or some shit.
Yeah.
They used to have like detectives look up keywords and look up like, I guess pictures or whatever of people doing that shit on Facebook or Instagram, and they used to get them like that. I guess. But now like they have weapon specialists for that shit. Nobody. I should have just shot myself. Bow.
We should.
With the beam.
Try stuffing like the arm or something. Get that simpy.
RPG got bleed out in the street, squirming. May he rest in peace. Right after that, we was devastated with the death of King Vaughn. Not even a week later, Mo 3.
Who is Mo 3? Yo, you know what? You know my whole thing, right? About this shit, right? I would stop mentioning rappers that are dying. Dude, don't give it any time of the day anymore. Just don't. Like, if I was very cemented in like doing my YouTube while people dying and shit, and you hate that shit, then stop doing it. Like fucking, just let them niggas die, bro. Like fuck it. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Like, if you ignore them, they'll stop doing it. I think. You know, like, I feel like if more people ignored gangbangers, I feel like I don't know. Nobody will think they're relevant anymore, so they will stop doing the shit that they're doing. In terms of getting attention with, like when it comes to killing people and shit. Because most of these, like, for real, most of these like killings, like most of these rappers are not really, well, except for King Von, like he was he actually killed people, but like most of the rappers here, they're not really in a gang. You know that, right? I didn't even know that shit. But most of them are not even in a gang. They just hang around those dudes, and like the main rapper is not even like nothing. He's just like surrounded by those dudes because they happen to live. He happens to be nice at rapping, and they happen to be thuggish and shit. So he just claims that shit. There's a lot of guys like that. I didn't even know that.
You can get hit with a chopper.
Justin, you know who Mo 3 is? I don't even know who Mo 3 is.
I don't know who the fuck that is. Or who the fuck that was.
We don't need to know it no more. Hassan Campbell needs to know. We don't need to know it no more. They all just, if they're drill rappers, just best believe them niggas gonna drill each other.
Mo 3 gets chased down on a highway. He gets chased down on the highway. And they turn his TV off.
They turned his TV off.
Turned him into green niggas in hand on the freeway.
Yo, hood niggas always be wanting to sound cool.
Like it was nothing.
Right?
Just say they killed him.
They killed
like,
him.
Turn
That's what I'm saying.
Turn
Like,
his TV off.
regardless, people are gonna think that all these deaths are cool, fun, entertaining. You know, and I understand his message, but after a while, it's just like, dude, you know, you're making money off that shit. Every rapper that dies, because he told us, like, every rapper that dies, like, you know, these YouTubers make money off of it. Yeah, you're doing the same shit too, man. You know?
Oh yeah.
Just ignore them niggas. Just stop dying.
He said he gets $400 of it.
But he was
Why do you
saying,
think
like,
he got mad YouTube pages?
But I do agree with what he said, though. He was like, he's the only one, well, one of the only ones that, like, usually, like, talk about, you know, oh, you shouldn't do that shit. He actually preaches against that shit, so I give him some props for that. But after a while, it's like, damn, if all these rappers are dying, then just stop reporting on it. Maybe after a while, maybe they'll find something new to do, because they don't have no relevancy of, like, rolling somebody in a spliff. Like, they don't need to do that shit no more. They could just go get a job or some other shit. I don't know. I don't know.
And how I see it is like, if I'm Hassan Campbell, I'm gonna stop talking about it. For the simple fact that it's obvious what I'm saying isn't like doing anything. So what the fuck is the point in saying it?
Yeah.
If I'm still making videos, it's now, and I'm just repeating myself, it's obvious I'm just doing this for money at this point. Like, who actively wants to repeat themselves over and over again? The shake
G5
tone.
high. Like that's the same thing with like I kind of realized that with like this conspiracy theory thing. I felt like I started to feel like less passion for that shit as the more I grew older and shit. So like when I see it saying when I started seeing the fucking British girl go crazy with that QAnon shit, I was like, dude, this is how I was probably looking to other people. This is fucking nuts. Like, you know, this is over obsession, I guess. Like, people get over obsessed about certain topics and they just make a living off of it. But yeah, it's like the same thing. People are gonna do bad shit regardless. Like, you can't stop them. It is what it is. But yeah, I still fucks with Hassan Campbell. I still fucks with him, man. Like, you know, that's my nigga.
You know, just in case the algorithm acts up and he hears this.
Just in case it act up and shit. I'm just saying, like, you know, I don't think it'll ever stop. I think it'll just get much worse, and I don't think kids look at that shit. Like, I found out about Hassan Campbell, what, 2-3 years ago. Well, I was in my what, mid-20s or some shit. Like, any 13, 14-year-old that's woo true, they're not gonna look at that shit and be like, oh, nigga's right. I'm gonna get a wake-up call. Nah,
Well,
he did
say that some people come up to him and tell him that his videos like do stuff for them and like they trying to get out.
Nah, granted it does. It does though. Like I agree, like it works with people that are our age, you know, our age demographic. People that are like around that college age. But like the true shooters are like what? In their teens mostly. If you could say that.
Yeah.
The kids that really be shooting, I mean the people that really be shooting is like mostly kids. Judging from like the news reports and shit. So I don't know, like the OGs, Jojo Capone, like they're not gonna stop that shit.
Where are they at?
They need to make money too.
Where the OGs at? Where the fathers at?
Where the uncles at? They turned his TV off. Let's hear him talk about turning people's TV off though.
Like it's nothing.
Like it's nothing.
Just noodles. Turn them into green eggs and ham on a freeway. Put one in the back of his head like it was nothing.
Do it.
Do it.
Damn, he didn't do it. Hit him in the head. It's a headshot.
Word. That was a perfect opportunity.
That was the perfect time.
Yo. See? His mind is elsewhere else. He should have been focusing on that shit.
You know what he should have been focusing on?
There's cash?
It's cash. It's cash. We about to play that after this.
Focus on
I don't remember her name.
You think she came up with some new shit?
Huh?
You think she came up with some new shit?
Yeah, she did. I got notifications of her doing like other signs and shit.
Exclusive. New shit. Got the scams.
What's his name's girlfriend? Only here for a green card.
Yo, when he told me that shit, I was like, yo, I respect it. Like,
Thinks he's a real life ninja.
Nah, but yo, you don't respect him enough for that though, to say that shit. Like he is basically like, like one of those like Colombian girls that come up here, and they just fuck with you to like, you know, he's a bad bitch for that shit. To be honest with you.
Oh yeah. He's securing the bag. Bag secured.
Everybody's trying to secure a PS5. He's trying to secure that future, like legit future.
Wait, no, that guy. Excuse me. So to say.
What was?
There is a war going on.
There's a war going on outside. Nowhere to safe from. You watching this stream, nigga? I'm spitting on this. I'm spitting in this fucking trash can. Don't say shit, nigga. It's real life. We got the Rona out here. Don't tell the fucking feds. Shit.
Duck shit. Defend yourself, gang. What's his name? What's his name's YouTube page? The pirate.
The pirate.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The guy that you spar with. I can't remember his name.
The pirate. Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, remember the fucking video that he made?
What
They're
the
calming.
fuck? Oh, you forgot Ainsley's name?
Ainsley, that's his name. What's his YouTube page?
The Showdown Dojo or some shit?
Showdown Lucine Dojo.
I mean, I've been meaning to like promote that interview and shit. Nah, that interview is it's alright. The audio was pretty good. It wasn't that bad. It was just me stuttering and acting like a dumbass.
Yeah, they got some emotional guys too. I'll give myself an example, as a cancer, I get that, water sign on me. Thank God for martial arts because all that, I was mad emotional when I was younger. And I met you guys. Same here.
Same here, sir.
I'm a mercenary.
I want to be the main event mafia.
At first I thought it was somebody different that we were making fun of, but I just found out we were making fun of me.
He was like, yo, who is this nigga that we making fun of? Yo, his girl said this is so funny and insightful. And he put how so beautiful. Yeah, tell me how it's insightful. It's definitely funny, don't get me wrong, but like, how is it insightful?
I was warning them about the scams, about the martial arts schools, telling them not to go join martial art dojos. Yo, you know what's funny about that shit? I think a lot of people got mad at that shit.
He probably got mad at that because he's just like, yo, you're supposed to be promoting going.
Yeah, which I do. I always tell him like, you should go do that shit. And I said that too in the video. I was like, yeah, if you do go, like you should go, but just be wary of being like taken advantage of your money. He got his purple belt though. He's doing good. I think I don't think he's getting scammed. I think he's actually doing good. And I think the reason why they're doing good is because they working out of a church. They work it out, so they gotta do good. They gotta make sure they stay to tradition. If they don't, and they try to scam people, like the school I used to go to, a couple of schools I used to go to, they're gonna lose people.
I mentioned let me karate and sit, help me channel it to the bag.
I didn't know left, right.
The same. People make fun of me that shit, but that shit's the best therapy. Yeah. The best therapy.
It's the best therapy, yo. I sound like such a fucking mook.
A lot of guys look at me and say, yo, you get a lot of women. I mean, there was this girl last night I was speaking to, she was like, you're a player. You get a lot of girls. I was like, dude, I'm projecting here. Shit. Like, I'm
playing a video game right now.
Or speaking to my friends. Like, when it comes to a girl, I'm not really speaking to.
Oh, she got mad videos. Oh, we gonna do the best one now.
Lonely. We're lonely, Justin. They think we get a lot of bitches, but we're
Or like
not. Justin, you actually get a lot of bitches.
Fine.
You get more bitches than me.
I do not.
For you. So, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Venus. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, right? Correction. What's coming? What's coming?
He's coming.
For September. Also, happy birthday, Virgos. If it's just your birthday or if it's past.
Gang.
If it's on its way. Happy birthday. So,
She's killing time just so she can like figure this shit out.
The Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles.
I gotta get the 10 minutes out so I can get paid on YouTube.
Goodness. The Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. So with the Nine of Pentacles, I'm really saying that
You gotta some cash. She's like, what the fuck do I say?
Virgos, it's really time for you guys to focus on your money. You don't need to have your focuses elsewhere. Focus on cash.
Fleeting.
You need to know right now. You need to know that you need to focus on your money.
Yo, that's how I used to sound when I used to be in like
It's
work
really easy to be
interviews and
distracted
shit.
right now. You have a lot going on. You know, if you're a Virgo male, you probably have a lot going on with the ladies. And you probably are.
She was actually very wrong in that department.
On things that are important because these connections that you have are all fleeting and they're not real. So it's like not gonna go anywhere, not gonna be anything, not gonna actually be anything, and the things that are gonna be.
Well, you know, homeless girl. That is true. Ooh, let's do. Do they have Leo? Who the fuck is Leo? They found it. Leo for September. Even though we're in November. But alright, let's go.
She's still doing September videos?
Yeah, she's still doing September. We're up to October now. A month ago, Sagittarius. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Imagine she couldn't keep track of the months, her own months she's gonna do it for the video. She kept just doing September. We're in November right now.
Hello, welcome to Darby's Tarot. So this is for your Leo, Sun, Moon,
Darby.
Rising, and or
Darby Allen.
Yeah, I got Venus in there this time. Okay. And I am a Rising and a Moon Leo, so I'm pretty happy about this reading. Right?
But that doesn't make you a real Leo.
But wait, she's not a planet either. She said she's rising.
You see? Look at this, look at all this false. Look at all this false advertisement. We can clearly tell you're not a planet, Darby. Fucking dumb bitch, Darby. Let me stop. I'm joking. I'm joking.
The way I read for you guys is
I don't want fucking.
You don't want the smoke?
Shodan to knock on my door. The Shodan to be like, let's go spar.
He's coming.
He fucking kicks me in the leg for no reason.
Aware of
that dude will break both of our legs, dude.
So let's get started.
He actually really kicks pretty hard.
So what can Leo
I was kind of worried one day he hears the shit like, and he just like, yo, let's spar. And I suspect me all of a sudden, poof! I heard you speaking about it.
Be like, hey, next time tell Justin come over. It's like, yeah.
He said, I was surprised that he told you that shit. I was like, wait, he knows about you? Making fun of him or some shit?
Alright, so he's gonna go through September, and I'm gonna say if any of that related to my September. If I can remember what happened in September.
Leo.
You're... Go ahead, make something up.
So the thing you can be aware of before September is
Go ahead and make something up. Yo. What?
Look, she humming.
She's doing the she's doing the what do you call it? The smoke burp? No.
Alright, look how she's desperate. Look at
So
this.
what should Leo be aware of for September? Leo.
Gotta get them fucking predictions out. Processing them.
Okay, I have an idea. So, I'm gonna do a stopwatch. And I'm gonna see how long it takes for her to give my prediction out. I'm at 32 seconds. Okay. And
the way I read for you guys is I'm gonna do what you can be aware of and then what you can expect.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get started. So what
now,
can Leo be aware of for September?
Sam?
Wagner?
Leo.
Loading.
Bridges dedicated.
And she loads longer than the PS5.
I've
What
been
the
asked
fuck?
to carry on in my sister's place.
So the thing you can be aware of before September, Leo, is
forever and always.
you're doubting yourself.
okay.
You're doubting
25
yourself.
seconds.
You might rather-
That's how long it took.
Bridges then.
25
Come on,
seconds.
the PS5
That's
is
how
faster than
long.
that.
Never was.
Yep.
It's about what she wants.
That shit
That's how long
processes
it took
fast.
for her to think of
And why
something.
shouldn't we help them?
Spider-Man Miles Morales has no loading screens.
We're all connected now.
It doesn't?
Like, nah, I don't. It like when you
Oh,
fast
shit.
travel, the fast travel is like what 5 seconds or some shit. She took longer than a Miles Morales fast travel.
25 seconds. Just for her to think something
So
up.
the thing you can be aware of for September, Leo, is you're doubting yourself. You're doubting yourself because you would much rather not buckle down and get things done. You'd much rather hang out, chill, you know what I mean? Enjoy the last days of summer, pick out what you're going to wear for fall. No, we don't have time, Leo. Okay? We don't have time, honey. You need to buckle down, settle down. You're stressed because you feel like it's too much work. Whatever it is that you have coming up, you feel like, ugh. I don't have the patience. I feel it. Settle down. You're stressed because you feel like it's too much work. Whatever it is that you have coming up, you feel like, ugh. I don't have the patience. I feel it. I absolutely feel you. Like, I feel it. Okay? But you have the time. You absolutely have the time. You absolutely
That took a lot of brain energy. That took a lot.
Say everything twice. Say everything
twice.
You absolutely have the time.
Okay, watch this.
Feel you, like, I feel it.
That was twice.
Okay? But you have the time.
1,
You absolutely have the time.
2,
2.
You absolutely have the time.
3.
Okay, Leo? You absolutely have the time. I don't know, I'm picking up on your energy, and it's just, y'all are the funniest sign, I feel like. Like, the energy of Leo is like, like, y'all are over it. You're tired, and same, honey. I'm tired, too. But, like, y'all are funny. Over it. You know, you just kind of want to chill. Like, when can we hang out? When can we party? When can we chill? Like, when can we hang out and, like, party and chill? Is, like, what I hear. No, honey, you need to work right now.
No, that ass with the say everything twice shit, though, for real. Like, that ass heavy on it. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's weird.
Kira and I ended shit because I don't be like, when are we hanging out? When are we doing this? So I don't think this applies to me exactly.
It's not actually stress. You just, like I said, don't want to work. And I get it. You've been doing a lot. But you gotta keep
I always
going,
wondered, right?
man.
How would it be like if me and Eureka were still together during the pandemic? And like we were in the same position of like, you know, because like around the last 2 years or whatever, it was the whole thing about going out. Like, why don't we go out enough, or why don't we go out to special places and shit? And I would have loved to see in those tail end years how she would have handled the pandemic shit. You know.
Oh, she would have, since we were getting those body horror money, like she probably would have been like, yo, like, why aren't you spending it on like this or this? Like, I remember Kayla told me to buy her stuff.
But
I'm
why
like, you
did
do
she
know
get
you're
her?
getting the same amount of money that I am,
Word.
right?
What the fuck? I think if you were in a relationship, and I don't blame it on you. It's like, I just think if you were in a relationship, it should have went right like this year. Like if both you guys were working, then you got like the shit right, the unemployment whatever, and you're popping, like your bank account's popping and shit. Like it should be nothing wrong. All right, it's kind of boring and shit, but like I don't think there should be nothing wrong. She like literally looked for shit to like get mad over. It's like fucking.
Well, that's why I called my relationship left. You know why?
Because it ain't right.
Because it ain't right.
I would have loved to see that, like how I've like had to deal with the same shit. Because I would have got probably very upset. Like I don't know if you're just like toning it down because you don't want to like make it seem like it's something crazy. But me, I felt like if Eureka was like that, I would have fucking been worse. Like, I probably would have cussed her out even worse, or just like been a big dickhead. Even though she's being a bigger dickhead, like I would probably over trump that like shit to be like, yo, I could be a bigger dickhead, you know? Because you're acting like an asshole. Like everything is shut down. Like where do you want to go?
No, it was always an argument because everything was shut down. Yet she was like, we never saw each other, and it's just like, well, the only things we could do is have each other come over or like go to parks and shit. But this was when the pandemic was at its worst. So it's just like, why are we going to a park? Like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Like, what are we doing after the park?
I can understand the summertime.
Oh yeah, summertime.
But like the springtime when
summertime,
it was.
I get it.
Yeah, like if it's really really nice and you guys are at home and you're bored, because like me and her used to do that shit to me and Eureka. Like we were bored at home and it was kind of warm and we didn't feel like being outside. We would just go outside for a walk or some shit near the park, near Global or near like the botanical gardens or something, and get some food. And that shit should be like, what? That's good too, right? But you know, there's a part of them that look at that shit and just be like, oh, that was just too convenient for you. You know, like they want you to go out your way to do something extra, like fucking extra, you know? So, like they can make it seem like, oh, you really love them and shit. It's like, what the that's I'm kind of happy, like, this year. As much as I want a girl, I'm like, I could do without one for a little bit. Like, until next year or some shit, I guess. That fleshlight is doing its business. That shit is doing its business. I saw a meme today. I saw a meme today that was like, oh, niggas always think they know who the perfect bitch is. They might as well be the perfect bitch themselves. Now I'm like, I think I am, because I'm getting myself off pretty well without one. I think I'm alright.
Yeah, like that's why I don't care. Like I don't care for sex. Like I really don't. Like I got something that'll always be there when I need it. Like there's nothing.
I would like some, but I'm not so heavy on it like how I used to be, I guess, back in the day. Like, like I needed to survive. Like I do think like you do need it to some extent, but I don't think it's that to survive. Like I think you could definitely do without it, or just at least go for a substitute. If you're in jail, go for an orange or a grapefruit. Just be careful of them acids. Just saying. Those citric acids get up all in there.
Oh, you Mr. Doctor Malachi Brathwaite, MD.
Hey, they're not putting out, man. We gotta do the asexual. It's called the asexual. What they used to call those classes in fucking high school? Asexual ed classes. Asexual ed classes. Asex ed classes. That's what it's called. We gotta do new sex ed for people who are not like, you know, we're not doing so well in relationships or some shit, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Japan is starting to do that shit now. They're starting to like come up with classes on how to like survive alone. But not only that, but like at least like go and fucking like meet people and shit and talk to people, because they don't like talk to people in Japan. Like they became so stuck up that they became scared of each other. You ever look
Chinese people?
Nah, Japan.
Okay.
You ever looked at those documentaries on like Japanese people and like the population drop and all that shit with like Japan?
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. You should see that shit. I think that shit is like we're gonna become like that if we don't get like our shit together. Like city people, like probably might become like that in the next 10 years or something. You know, probably like my brother's generation or some shit, especially with this COVID shit. But in Japan it's much worse because they're more of a work culture, so their shit they be dying alone to the point where they don't be finding their bodies till like the next year later on or 2 years later or some shit. Like, and when you find them, like the apartment building be having like a dark spot in the middle where they died and shit. It should be looking really fucked up.
And you look like, oh shit, that's what happened to him. I was watching a documentary of this guy named Chris Watts. His his wife and his 2 daughters like went missing, and the mother's friend called the cops and was just like, yo, like she hasn't been responding, like she hasn't been picking up the calls, the car is still in the driveway. Like she called the cops and the cops was like, all right, we're gonna check. Went to the house. The husband's just like, I haven't heard from her. Like she left her phone, she left her wedding ring. Like I don't know what's going on. This, that, and the third.
Yeah.
And he's blabbering. He's just like, yo, like I don't know where they are. And the brother of the mother was just like, yo, like he's normally not like this. Like he doesn't ramble this much, so it sounds kind of suspicious or whatever. And they're doing like a search. They're doing all this other shit. And they were just like, well, you know, since you're the husband, you're normally our like first. Well, before that, they find out he was having an affair. So once they find that out, they were just like, we're going to give you a polygraph test. And he was just like, all right. And he's just like, but I didn't do anything. She's like, I know, but like, we want to do a polygraph test.
Yeah.
And he's just like, if you did anything, it would be really stupid for you to take this test right now. So if you did anything, get up and walk away. He was like, no, I didn't do anything, so it's fine. Da-da-da-da. And he took the polygraph test. He came back. They were just like, so you failed the polygraph test. So what happened to her and the kids? And they were just like, did she do something with the kids? Did she like kill the kids and then you snapped and killed her? And then he was just like, yep, that's what happened. She smothered the kids, and I choked her and did the same thing that she did to me. Adds up, he killed all of them. Like, he put her in like an oil drum. No, he put the kids in an oil drum and buried the mother.
Goddamn.
And he did all that because of his affair. He wanted to end the relationship, but he didn't want to. I don't know what's wrong with people. Where they're just like, murder is a better option than just going through a divorce.
Like, not like, you see, like niggas in the hood, I think can maneuver a situation like that much better. Like that guy was like he was like a family guy, man. Like, you know, his life was probably very, like, you know, good, and this is like the very first bad thing he did. The very first very bad thing he did, you know.
It just so happens to be murder.
How the
Triple
fuck?
homicide.
Nah, I mean, like the whole cheating thing, right? Like that was the thing. Like he was trying to cover up a fear. So that's what he probably thought in his mind. Is like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to walk away from this shit unscathed? Well, maybe I fucking killed them or some shit like that.
He didn't want to be with her anymore. So like he said, he wanted a new life. But he couldn't do that.
But that's very extreme, though. He could have just fucking like, dude, you could just dip out. There's niggas that fake their death and shit.
Yeah, like he was lying to both of them. He was lying to the spring, the fucking whatever she was, and the mother. And it was just like, he was just like, I want to stay with her, but I can't do that with her lying around. I don't fuck with those kids like that. So.
Yeah, he probably was he probably was very quiet and very resentful. He probably never got into an argument with her, and was just very quiet about the shit. He's like, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm gonna be very displeasant about it. That I don't know. I'm not trying to make excuses for the nigga, but like, I could see how certain people could do shit like that. Like, you know, like for
people
instance,
were
like,
actually shitting, not shitting, but people actually believed him and was just like, yo. The wife was a narcissist, and it's because of him that she snapped, and it's her fault, not his. She was a bitch.
From judging from that shit, it seemed like this was like his very first bad thing that he did with like the affair, and he had to cover it up with he wanted to cover up with something that was probably for neat, you know.
Gotta murder.
Gotta like get them out the way. Cause you know that's the same thing with people who hit people on the road, and they put them in a trunk and shit, and they dump them off like in the ocean. Like let's say like hit and runs and shit. Like there be people that never killed anybody before or never like did anything like that. But when they're in the heat of like some type of situation, like his situation is a little bit different because he had enough time to think that shit out. So like
yeah.
So I guess it's like a bad example, but I'm just saying like a circumstance, like people tend to just do weird shit like that. Like you hit somebody in a hit and run, and you think they're dead, and you put them in a trunk and you throw them over the fucking Hudson and some shit like that. Like people be doing shit like that.
They're just knocked out.
Yeah, and the whole time they're just knocked out. You could have just like, you know, waited a little while for them to get back up. And there's cases too. And there's cases too when people do wake up and like them niggas wake up in the trunk and the guy and the nigga see each other in the trunk or some shit, and he's like, wait, I'm not dead. Then the nigga fucking just hits him over the head with the shovel. Like shit like that happens actually. Like a lot.
Well, you have to now, because it's just like, dude, now you know I put you in a trunk.
And not only that,
so
like,
we're doing this.
I do think cameras add some amount of pressure to people to do shit like that. Even though it's supposed to prevent people from doing shit like that, I think it adds a little pressure on like response time and thinking time. Like I feel like there'll be a case of people that'll do it, but I feel like there'll be a case of people that, alright, there's no cameras around, this guy woke up or whatever, and like maybe we could talk shit out and just like nobody gets sued here or some shit like that. That's like very rare though, to be honest with you. That shit will happen. Niggas will be like, what the fuck?
And people like fuck up. People fuck up because of cameras.
Yeah, a lot.
I mean, people fuck up, like, leave some shit behind or not think straight and end up messing up because they're like, oh, fuck, the camera's there. That's how those dickheads, that robbed, the rap room in the school that we used to go to.
Oh, with the laptops?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, at my job, yo, there was a robbery. I told you about that shit?
At a crunch?
At Crunch, yeah. I know it's stupid as fuck. And I accidentally let the guy in by mistake. Because I thought he was a member. I thought this nigga was a...
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I know what you're thinking. Everybody was like, yo, are you fucking stupid? But I'm like, dude, this was like an actual, like, accident. Because the guy came in, I was doing my email and shit on the computer, like sending emails and like doing shit for like management or whatever. And he came in, rang his ID, and he flashed it, but nothing popped up. But I heard an indication, like sound off, and I was like, okay, so this is probably he probably scanned his ID, everything is cool, so I'm just gonna take his temperature and just let him in. He was moving very hasty, like for somebody. But granted, like everybody that goes in there, they move type hasty because sometimes they come in their lunch break and they just want to like work out real fast and get out there and shit. So I didn't think nothing much of it. So I just like took his temperature and like let him in. And I checked the sign-in thing, and I was like, holy fuck, this guy's ID didn't pop up. So what the fuck is that indication noise I heard? So I was like, holy shit, this guy is like a non-member in the shit, and you know, I was like, you know what? I didn't think much of it because like he's probably homeless. He wanted to go piss and like take a shower and just dip or something and just use his bathrooms and all that shit. So I didn't think much of it. But the guy, he went all the way upstairs to the employee room and took like most of everybody's shit that was in the lockers and started eating food and whatnot. Even some of the trainers passed them in the employee room and said nothing. Like trainers that worked there. So it was like it was my fault too, but like it was partially their fault too. Like they should have known like this guy didn't work here too. So they were just there like chilling, looking at him, and they just left the room and didn't think nothing of it, and he just took everything. And they had cameras of him like just there eating and just walking around and just taking shit like fucking Swiper. I was like, holy fuck. I felt so bad for that whole fucking, for the rest of the week. I was just like, shit. I felt so fucking horrible, dude.
Nick Malachi, what the fuck? I'm sorry.
Word. I was like, sorry. I was like, dude, this nigga. Because the thing. Fuck.
Good as
Holy shit. The thing that made the thing that made the indication was the fire alarm thing. Like it usually beeps throughout the day. Sometimes. I guess it's like a as a way to like show that it's like still working or something. So it beeped off at the same time this guy was pulling out his ID. And I told like my boss and him that shit. But that was actual truth because when I was on the computer the next day, the shit beeped off again and it sounded just like the ID shit. And I was like, yep. That's why I thought this guy was like a member or some shit. But yeah, this guy he fucking nabbed everything, man. Tight.
Yo, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll be back.
Yeah. I'm gonna die real quick. Holy shit, dude. It's Rona. I'm gonna have to make some more tea after this shit. After I fucking get Sam to his destination. I forgot he got a place to go. Oh shit. Shit, that's Michelle Obama and Biden. What the fuck?
Excellent. Everything appears to be in perfect condition.
I don't OD. You hear? I don't OD on my the pen shit, so I've had this shit for almost a month. I'm still not done with the cartridge shit yet.
You almost had it for like a month?
Yeah, I think past that.
You're doing good then. Fuck that. It's just doing you well then. It's just, well, my weed supply has shit been lasting mad long recently. I can't smoke weed like that, like how I used to. Because, it's so heavy. They make weed so strong these days. I feel like such an old nigga, yo. They make weed so strong these days.
I'm thinking, cause like I was just like, yo, how come? Like, remember, like we would drink alcohol like it was water. Like, we used to drink Devil Springs straight at 9-10 in the morning, which is crackheadish of us in hindsight, but we're no better than like the drunk Dominicans that walk into the bodega at 10 in the morning buying like fucking 40s and shit. So like we were drinking that like it was nothing. We wouldn't get hangovers, like we'd be fine. Now I drink, the next day I'm like, fuck.
Really?
I don't drink as often. Like my stomach hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
My head hurts. I just take a shit and I'm fine. But I can't. In order for me to get drunk back then, I would have to drink a lot. Now it doesn't take a lot for me to get drunk.
But yeah, I'm kind of drunk right now, but I could still drink more, for some reason. But for smoking, like if I smoke a lot, even if it's sativa, I'll tend to fall asleep or want to go to sleep. So I found out like they're just making weed very heavy now. I don't know why. I don't know why. Of course I know why. They want people to get high. But
is agony any good?
not from what I saw. It doesn't look like too exciting. That Godfall shit looks like the opposite of agony though. That shit.
He says what?
That Godfall game for the Yeah, that shit looks like the opposite of fucking agony. Like, you know how agony looks like very hellacious and shit, but I mean like it looks kind of pretty. Like
Yeah.
Godfall looks very heavenly, but like a lot of architecture is so pretty, but it looks just fucking ugly in a way. Like it's just very mismatched. I don't know. I gotta get the game to see it. It looks good. Like the gameplay looks very good, but I don't know. It looks bulgy. I am not paying $75 for a game, dude. Fuck that.
Yeah, niggas. I mean, I'ma still do it.
I'ma still do it, but in a way that it doesn't inconvenience me, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I'ma still do it, but I ain't gonna be happy about it.
Like it gotta
I'm
be a game
tired.
I really want.
Yeah, like the God of War game, I'm definitely getting. God of War Ragnarok, I'm definitely playing that.
And you know what else? If this shit is fucking $75, shouldn't they have no DLCs anymore? Like DLC should be done. Like no more.
Oh no, they still do that.
They still gonna do that? Yo, them niggas is
course.
grease.
Of course. Like you have to expect that. If they raise the price to 70, of course they're gonna still have DLCs.
Nah. They should cut that shit out or at least make the DLC more rare. Like something where you only have like 2 DLCs out. And I'm not talking about like plus skins, plus all that. I'm talking about all that shit should already be included in the game. Like the DLC should just be like, alright, 2 maps or 2 characters to the max. Like that's it. Everything else should be included in the game already. So like for instance, like all those characters, like those movie characters in Mortal Kombat 11. Like let's say if there was to bring out another Mortal Kombat game, and it was $75. Give me the first 2 combat packs free, but give me like the third one, and the third one I have to pay for, plus like I guess a couple of skins or whatever, and like if they do an extra story mode or whatever, like alright, fuck it, I'll get another like DLC for that shit. 2 DLCs max and that's it. They should make a law for that. Because the game is $75. What more do you want from niggas? Like, you're gonna have us paying a game system each for a game? You know?
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's
wild
exactly what they're doing. They're like, yep.
That's wild shit. Like, my brother is like, yo, I need a job to play video games now. Cause like, it's crazy. Like, he's like $75 a game. Like, he dead was mad disappointed. He kind of looked like he don't even want to. He wanted the system, but at the same time, he's like, I don't even want my parents to buy that shit for me, like the games, because it's so fucking inconvenient. Like, you know, $75. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's sad. Like, they're gonna have to probably fix that shit. You think so?
I don't know if they're gonna fix it.
People
I
been
don't know
paying.
if they're gonna want to.
People have been paying. People have been paying like that money, that amount of money for like a good while. What the most the gaming industry could say what? But you see, they can't even use that excuse because a lot of the people, they made a lot of money in during Corona season too. Like people who did video games and shit.
Yeah.
They made a lot of money. People stayed home and played their shit, their material. So that's very gritty. I don't think I'm gonna subscribe to that shit.
I mean, I'ma do it, but like I ain't gonna enjoy it.
You know what's interesting too? Like when the next gen came out for the Xbox and PS4, right? When that shit came out, like we bought. I found myself stop buying games, like stop buying like games on release. I guess like the 3rd year into like having the system or some shit. For both, like either one, like PS4 and Xbox. Like I found myself just stop buying like games at full price at least, you know. Like of course I'll still buy a game every year or some shit here and there. I stopped buying DLCs. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people like that. That's just gonna stop. because it's going to be too much. Or just like go into PC
I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him in the slightest, because it's like, hold on, I have to type some shit. Number 861 Okay.
I'm trying to think of a justification of why they're charging that much. I'm just trying to.
Oh, there is none. They're probably gonna say something like, "Well, we the PS5 has a whole bunch of like, it's at the peak of technology, so we have to make it that much," or some shit like that, or the amount of work that we put into it. It's not just an ordinary $60 game. Suck my dick. It is a $70 game.
Like Spider-Man Miles Morales is not a 75. Like if they said Demon Souls was a $75 game. Demon Souls.
God of War Ragnarok is a $70 game.
Nah, like that's unnecessary to me. You know the pinnacle of gaming is fucking PC gaming and VR. And as much people as don't want to hear about the VR shit, like it is what it is. Like that's when you get the shit, like you're gonna feel the itch to like be in a video game. Because that's just where you want to be in life, which is in a fucking video game sometimes. You just want to escape reality of watching buildings and shit every time you go outside, watching fucking buildings and shit. It's like that shit is gonna come no matter what. It's just a matter of like making it making it efficient and making it more like the next gen systems of where the clarity is like crisp and shit, and it actually feels like you're in the shit or whatever. And PC gaming is the next thing. Like PC gaming, they're the ones who's taken like shit to the future. You could play like millions of video games on that shit on Steam. But the only thing about that is you have to have like a $2,000 build to like experience that shit. So I don't know. I think PC gaming makes more sense though. Even though it's like you still spending like a lot of money. It's like you spent that money and that's it. Like you don't have to really spend it again. As like for the systems, they're kind of making it seem like you have to like. But then again, in PC gaming, you have to keep buying graphic cards and shit, I guess. Fuck, man.
Like, the thing, I don't know, I never like been one to really like PC gaming. It seems kind of like too much. Like it's too much work to do PC gaming, whereas PlayStation, not really.
Let's say if you was like rich, right? And you had no interest in building your own PC, but you wanted something that was like top notch, and you could have like you wanted something top notch, and just something you don't have to really maintain a whole lot of, like you don't have to put like a whole lot of energy into maintaining it, you know? Like you have people doing it for you or whatever, or when you bought the shit it was just made really good. Like I'm just in a situation like that, I think you would really love PC gaming. You would love the fuck out of that shit because you don't necessarily have to play with the keyboard. You could just play with like your Xbox or your PS4 remote. You can still use like your system remotes for it and shit, so it's not as bad as how it used to be in like the 90s or in the 2000s where you have to use like the fucking keyboard all the time, or you have to buy like a third party controller to like match up with the game and whatever, you know. Like they actually made this shit very accessible to play. Like I used to bring my fucking PlayStation remote to school and play on the PC and shit. Like on my even though my laptop is very shitty, like I used to play games on it. And I was like, oh, okay, this is how people do it now. Like this is pretty cool, but you still have to put like thousands of dollars into that shit. And I guess you do have to buy like graphic cards like every year or every 2 years to keep updating for like the new games that come out.
Yeah.
You have to be really on top. Yeah, it is a lot of shit. You're right. It is a lot of shit.
See, there.
Yo, PlayStation and Xbox is like the middlemen that really cut out that work for you. So like I guess that's the only justification they get. Like we could charge $75. We could charge this amount because PC gamers got to do the same shit anyway. So might as well you start paying PC prices, but pay like at least like what 65% of the amount of what they're paying or some shit. Like not pay as much as they're paying every 2 years, I guess, to update their systems.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that. I guess they sucker you in with that shit. They can have an argument in that. But you do know deep down that when things are like the final product, they don't need to necessarily do anything like that. So I guess that's where I kind of conflict. Like if it's just the final product, like the PlayStation 4, I mean the Xbox One, when I first got that shit, I got it like first day launch or something. And I picked it up after school, came home, hooked it up, and till this day it never got any mishaps or anything like that. It's working fine and shit. So I don't know, like that's like a final product. Like they make these systems to be a final product. So that's why I kind of feel like conflicted on like, why are you charging this much? Why are you charging like fucking out of this world money for this fucking one video game? Where all the fathers, where all the uncles at to buy me this fucking video game?
It says she's single, but
He's a retard. I'm never fucking with her. I'm never fucking with no artsy, complicated brain bitch. I'm done. I'm not fucking with no ghetto thought. I'm done. I'm just fucking with somebody's in between. You gotta be both best of both worlds.
ooh,
Ooh, you got the limo out front. Ooh, hot styles, every shoe, every color.
I don't see her talking. Oh no, that's a younger brother. Take it back. Yeah, I think she's single. So it's time to be like, hey, remember that time we matched up on Tinder, and you said whenever you want to, you can get a drink. Well, guess what?
But she said with her boyfriend though, right? After that,
she said that now with her boyfriend, but like.
She's a fucking weirdo for that shit. She just should have said, look, I have a boyfriend. I can't do it no more. We respect her more for that shit.
I was just like, yeah, you want to like go out or like get something to drink or eat or something. And
Make
she
her
was
pay the
just
whole
like, be like, yo, you got it, right?
Be like, you got the limo out front. I'm out.
Ooh, that's what I'm gonna say before I leave.
Okay, yo, it's crazy. I feel like social media even because like she's pretty. She's not like she's okay, right? Like I'll rate her like a fucking final rating. I'll rate her probably like a 7. You know,
Who, you
7 is
single?
a 7 is the most I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen like of course we've seen prettier girls in her. You know?
Of course.
Like if we
The body's crazy though. I think that's why it goes to a 7.
Yeah, like if we're in high school, of course she would have been like what? She would probably get like an 8 or something because of like you know, because of like the surroundings of where we at, and because we don't have exposure to much like girls like how we did like back in the day. We didn't have much exposure to like pretty girls and shit so much. But now like with Instagram we can see like You could go on the explore page and see like a whole bunch of fucking girls.
Yeah,
that are like
you're
10s.
not special at all.
Yeah, that are 10s, and it's like, why are you acting like you're a 10? Like, it's okay to have the confidence of one. It's cool to do that, but like, humble yourself. You know you have like little flaws here and there. You know.
It's like, yeah, you know your nose is weird.
We used to call it snaggletooth or some shit. We used to call it snaggletooth.
Well, sis liked you.
Yeah. But I never used to think she was good looking back then. I used to think she was ugly. I used to think her body.
Yo, she's weird.
Like I saw her body like very late, like when we started to graduate and shit. I was like, oh shit. Well, that's when I started to be like.
That was intentional for her.
Yeah.
Because like she put the Billie Eilish and would always wear like baggy shit.
Baggy shit, yeah. So like when I used to see her, I used to be like, yo, this bitch not ugly. She used to look like Serge Tanaki from like System of a Down. Her nose was mad big.
That's actually a fact.
She had a picture one time with her yelling, I think, and she had like her face down and her nose looked like. You ever seen like a rat? Like a rat with their mouth open. It looked like that. Me and Aaron used to
put a party hat on your nose.
Weird. But me and Aaron used to call her rat face. So we used to call Queen. We used to call Queen Chompers. Cause like me and Aaron used to see these girls come out, like he used to chill with us and shit. So like we used to see some of the girls come out of high school, and we used to just like sit around on our skateboards and just be like, yo, damn, that's Snaggletooth. Yeah, she likes me. Look at her friend, fucking Chompers, which is Queen, and shit. They used to have so much nicknames for all of them. And granted, like they grew into.
You know Taylor and Tika smashed?
Each other?
Yeah.
Whoa. Sable and Tori Wilson.
On senior trip. For whatever reason, we were the only ones that were too lazy. Like, Bianca's class, they saved up money to do like this resort. For Taylor's class, they did the same thing. For us, niggas just went to Six Flags, and we didn't even go. We were just drunk at Russo's. So, yeah, when they went, they were all like, they were laughing, they were experimenting, and like, they smashed.
Where's the video on that one? They slacking.
Oh, I just realized I can talk to Tika if I want to now. I'm saying all this knowing I'm not gonna do any of it.
You're not gonna talk to them. You would talk to them niggas, yo. You would talk to them.
I'm not talking to none of them. Like, and if I do, there are times where I go, yeah, I'm going to, and then I actually do. But then halfway, I'm just like, I don't want to anymore.
Too much work.
Yeah, so bail. I just don't.
Yo, you're so lucky you don't have a kid. Too much work, gotta bail.
Oh, imagine with a kid. God. Then you gotta tell people you have a kid.
With a girl that you don't really like, truly like you would probably been like, yo, fuck that. I gotta
like, I would be the coolest baby father. So it was like, yo, I get it. You hate me, I hate you, but like, let's just for the kid. Like, not even like it's like if you go through your exes, how many of them do you think you'd be able to have a healthy like?
Hell no. Like yeah, like I agree father. Like with you. Like yeah, I don't think you will run out on the kid necessarily. I think you'll just be like, yo, I cannot handle this bitch. Like I'll be the kid's dad, but that's as far as it's gonna go. Like you're not gonna be like the family nigga on that shit because. Yeah, if it was like Alexis, or if it was like just, you know, or any of these previous girls. I don't think I could have done it with them. Fuck that.
I think
they're too mental. They're fucking crazy. Like even the kid didn't calm them down or nothing. You know.
I think if I was able to have, if something happened and like we broke up or whatever, like an ex, and I had to decide like who would be a cool baby mother, I think it would be Kai and I would argue, Kayla and I would argue. The only cool people would be Dominique and Bianca. For the most part, everyone I dated were pretty cool. But there's just something that's annoying. But nah, I'm not running out.
Shit, dude, you just made me think for real.
Dead by Daylight is so annoying.
You just made me think like, yo, I avoided so much bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
None of them girls.
Scares.
Were
those used to keep me up at night.
Holy shit.
All these things is to hurry up. Like, alright, so Dead by Daylight, you get to pick whether you're one of the survivors or you get to play as the killer. So I only do the killer because being a survivor, that's too much work, so I just become the killer. And 4 other people are in the lobby with you, and they all have to ready up, and you. And now these two dickheads are taking forever. Now we're playing. That, and this game is so slow, I quit the game every single time. It's like Tekken. Why do I come back? Like, why do I come back? I tell myself not to, but...
It's like that, yo, with like the VR shit. But we have like, when we play Onward, if nobody readies up on time, we just there waiting. Sometimes people just be talking to each other for like a good 30 minutes in lobbies. And we're just there waiting for them to like fucking ready up. Because they're the only lobby like open for the night. It's just like shit, dude.
Yo, I was watching... I was listening to the Stone Cold podcast, and he had Kurt Angle on, and he was talking about when he was Perk Angle. He was like how he would eat 70-something painkillers a day. And Stone Cold was just like, you're fucking lying. And Kurt was like, nah, I'm serious. Like, he was like, there would be times where he would have like 15 in his mouth and just chew on them. I'm like, yo. He said he would be on planes and like he'd just pop out 15 and eat them. He was like, you can ask Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. Like they watch him eat. That's what he said. He was just like, yo, like
they were doing it with me too?
No. He was like how they would watch me do it.
Oh shit. Yo,
So,
back in the
like
day.
75.
Back in the day though, hold up, let me just get some more real quick. Back in the day, like, the niggas used to see that shit. Like, those drugs was not really illegal back when we were growing up, right?
So painkillers?
Yeah, like, most painkillers were, like, over-the-counter shit. Well, the painkillers they were getting wasn't, like, really over-the-counter. They were prescribed shit, of course, but... in their mind, they're probably thinking, like, you know, this is legal. Like, fuck. Watch me not feel shit tomorrow. What, are you guys feeling shit? You guys feel sore? Are you guys stupid?
No, they weren't.
You think he had that mentality? Like this is perfectly legal. Like this is medicine for the doctor, you know. Because I looked at the opioid like documentaries, and there's a lot of people that like got tricked into like getting addicted to opioids by their doctors.
He was actually full in the system. He was like how he would have four different like doctors, and he had a book.
Oh nah, he was looking for that shit.
And he would plan when to go to which one and like what day or what time to go to each one, just to get more.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this?